Now, this is a concept-based question regarding ecological niche. Okay, so the question is like this: ecological niche defines the functional role of a species in an ecosystem. Second, the biotic and physical environment is not the part of the niche. So they are saying about two concepts regarding ecological niche. So let us discuss what is this ecological niche. Actually, this ecological niche is the role or a function of a species within his ecosystem. Okay, so ecological niche is a role or function of a species within its ecosystem, right? And it is not only defining the function, it is also defining the position of that species. So that means simply we can say that ecological niche is the address of a species. Okay, it will define the space of that species and also what he is doing, the job and address of that species. That will be defined by this ecological niche. Okay, so an ecological niche is the role and position of a species has in its environment or ecosystem, and how it meets its need for food and shelter, and how it survives and how it reproduces. So all these things are mentioned by ecological niche. Okay, the role, the position, and how they are meeting their food needs for food, and how they are surviving, and how they are reproducing. All these are defined by this ecological niche. So this species niche includes all of its interactions with the biotic and the abiotic factors of its environment. So it is also defining with the biotic and the abiotic factors of environment. Okay, because the niche is a role of that species, right, or function of that species. So its function will be done on some certain region. In order to do their function, do their role, they require natural resources. For example, in the case of earthworm, its ecological niche is to convert leaf litter into vermicast, right? And leaf litter is the resource of that earthworm. Okay, so this ecological niche will also define the resources available for that species. Now, the description of a niche may include description of the organism's life history, habitat, and place in the food chain. So the niche will also include description of their life history, their habitat, their place in their food chain. So it is also defining the habitat. That means it is also defining the position. That means their abiotic components they are mentioning. Okay. More formally, the niche includes how a population responds to the abundance of its resource and enemies. Of course, in case of earthworm, we discussed about the availability of leaf litter, right? So it will also includes the how population responds, how this species responds to the abundance of its resources and enemies. Okay, so there will be also competition, right? Competition for the resources. So their enemies will be also included by the niche. The abiotic or physical environment is also part of the niche because it influences how population affect and are affected by resources and enemies. So here they are also mentioning that abiotic and physical environment. Abiotic or physical environment, it is also part of ecological niche. Okay, biotic factor and abiotic factor is also a part of ecological niche because it influences how population affect or are affected by resources and enemies. So it is also dealing with resources. So that's why we are having abiotic and physical environment as a part of this ecological niche. So these are the main points regarding ecological niche. Now coming to the question again. So the first statement, ecological niche defines the functional role of a species in an ecosystem. Obviously it's a correct statement because ecological niche defines the role of a species or the function of a species as well as its position in the ecosystem. So here they are mentioning about the functional role. So first statement is correct. Then second statement they have given us the biotic or physical environment is not the part of the niche. So actually biotic and physical environment is a part of this ecological niche. Physical environment means abiotic factors. Okay, biotic means living and physical environment means that is abiotic or non-living components. Right, that physical means that is non-living or abiotic, and biotic means living components. So both these are part of ecological niche. So that's why second statement is wrong because they are mentioning that biotic and abiotic components are not a part of niche. So that's why second is wrong. Okay, so here the answer is 1 only.